Oh, indeed. It's Wrestling Uncensored. The Bloodline implodes. Here we go, and here we are.
Oh, big man.
What's up, guys? Surviving?
Oh, feeling a little better now. Now there's 2 outs lined out to Volpe's.
We are here to talk professional wrestling. I've been instructed to talk professional wrestling.
Nothing but pro wrestling.
Even though we are all dressed up, almost can't even put a shirt on at this point anymore. How are we doing, Johnny North?
It's Friday night.
I'm pretty good. I've enjoyed a lot of wrestling this week. I think it's been a very eventful week in wrestling. We have a lot to talk about. Hopefully you guys can focus through for the next hour or so.
We have a lot to talk about?
I think so. I know for whatever reason you didn't think wrestling was very eventful this week, but I thought it was.
Well, we have a new Intercontinental Champion. Jey Uso lost the Intercontinental Championship back to Bron Breakker on Monday Night Raw in the main event. Solo Sikoa and the boys came out and wanted to help Jey. Jey refused their help, which led them to attack and cost Jey Uso the Intercontinental Championship on Raw this week. And Jey Uso returning the favor in the main event of SmackDown. The Motor City Machine Guns, new to SmackDown, they win a little mini tournament. They beat the DIY tonight. And then the Bloodline come out and they say, hey, let's have the match right now. And the Machine Guns say, okay. And Jey Uso comes out after Jimmy Uso and Roman Reigns had chased off Solo and Jacob Fatu. The referee had bumped. The referee was down. And the Tongas, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, they went to get chairs. But Jey Uso from Raw came to get revenge, attacked the Tongas, put them out, woke up the referee, and helped the Motor City Machine Guns become new WWE Tag Team Champions. This is just happening moments ago. At the conclusion of Friday Night SmackDown. Following that, we saw Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso in the ring with a big hug. The Bloodline, the original Bloodline, reuniting again as Roman Reigns, the original Tribal Chief, the OTC, watches on from the stage. Now, sure, John, that's eventful. That's stuff that happened, but it's all kind of stuff that, I mean, we've expected to happen, and it's all, I don't know. It all seemed kind of obvious to where this was headed. We know that Survivor Series is coming up in November, and we know that the most likely War Games match that they're going to do would be Bloodline versus Bloodline. I mean, it is what it is. We had to do this to get here, to get to the point, to get to the match and all of that. I'm just not, I don't know, I'm not blown away by it. It's just kind of like, yeah, I saw this coming. They did some title changes along the way. Motor City Machine Guns becoming tag team champions. I thought that was an interesting twist. Taking all the belts off the guys. Jey Uso loses his belt. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, they lose their belts. I thought that was an interesting move. I don't know if I love it or not. I think, either way, I don't think it makes a huge difference. I think it makes them slightly less valuable, right? That they're not champions anymore. But, whatever. It kind of moves. It also helps the show because they're in a big angle. And if they're in a big story, you could have somebody else as champion and they could have a story too. So you could have more
off of it.
Yeah, or other things going on. So you have more things going on a particular TV show.
That's true.
Right? You know what I mean, John? So spreading the love around, dropping the belt to Bron Breakker so that Bron can go on and do stuff with the Intercontinental title while Jay's tied up with this family drama. I think that makes some sense. Motor City Machine Guns can now, be pretty well established right off the bat. They beat a very strong tag team. They're the new champions, and they can go on and have fresh matchups with a whole number of tag teams on SmackDown. So, yeah, I think I'm probably for it more than against it. I see more reasons why they did it than not to do it, right?
Were you guys aware that this was taped, though?
Yeah?
This show was taped? SmackDown?
But apparently this show started earlier. Like, I saw the Morrison Machine Guns win the titles before they won the titles. Like, this was happening because they're doing a double taping tonight, right? And they started this taping beforehand. So, yeah, they won the titles. That wasn't live when they won it.
It was like at 6 o'clock or something?
Maybe 7, maybe 8, something. But, yeah, they won the titles. Like, and I saw it on SmackDown. I'm like, oh, this just happened. I'm like, oh, really? Like, SmackDown just started. Like, they just won the tag titles. But, yeah, because they're doing double taping. I guess they don't want it to last forever, which is smart of them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I got spoiled by this, and then it already happened, sadly. But, I mean, good for them. It gave them something, because, like, they push over the Motor City Machine Guns, like, they're this great tag team. They're innovative. They set the standard. They needed something to really stand out, so this helps them a lot.
I agree. I'm here. Where am I hearing Johnny from?
Or is there, like, something running? Or?
I feel like I'm hearing extra Johnny.
Yeah, I'm not hearing extra me, but it's okay. I think it's just your mic, probably.
We were catching.
Is it on the computer, maybe?
Maybe.
Oh, it might be on the computer in front of me.
I also like...
I'm new at this, John.
For the Bloodline...
This is only episode, like, 700 something. You know? Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I like also that, like, it makes it so personal that they're willing to, like, you know, strip each other of the belts, you know, like, it's a drag-out kind of feel to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you're taking everything from me. I'll take everything from you. Makes it a little bit more visceral, a little bit more violent, a little bit more, you know, the stakes get higher up, what they're willing to do to each other.
More reason for the final boss to be pissed off when he comes back. Like, you guys are giving up all the gold. Like, look what this cost us.
You've lost focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for, The Rock.
Yeah, we're waiting for The Rock. This
To me,
is all
what
leading
really
to
stood
something
out-
with The Rock, for sure.
I hope so. But to me, what really stood out this week, or definitely tonight, what really stood out, Crown Jewel. Like, to me, I'm much more anticipating that PLE now than before. Like, to me, the card looks fantastic, actually. It's probably one of the best PLEs they've had in a while, card-wise so far.
Okay. Let's take a look. They announced Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. They did a promo with Randy Orton and Triple H tonight to start SmackDown that I know you enjoy. Randy versus Kevin is official for Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia next weekend. We'll be live covering that on the Ringside Report Network right after the show, doing the post-show, of course. Seth freaking Rollins versus Bronson Reed, one-on-one. LA Knight defending the United States Championship against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. That match was made official tonight. I want to talk about that as well. Interesting crowd reaction for LA Knight in that one. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending their WWE Women's Tag Team titles against Damage Control, Kairi Sane and Io Sky, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson from NXT, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in a fatal four-way match. That one also announced on SmackDown tonight. And, of course, Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax in a champion versus champion match, and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther in the other champion versus champion match. Both matches for the Crown Jewel Championship. New belts awarded to the winner of those big main events. 6 matches. I think that's going to be the card. It does look pretty good. What are you most excited about, John? Liv Morgan, Nia Jax? I know you can't wait for that. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match? Is that what you're really hyped about, John? What exactly are you excited about? Tell me.
I think you're aware that I think Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, I think that should be a very good match. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Cody and Gunther as well. I think that should be pretty good. Yes. Albeit, I think that's going to be too much shenanigans involved. There'll be probably a bunch of interference on both sides, I think. So it'll be tainted regardless. I think it'll still be a good match. And I think, you know, not the biggest fan of like Seth, but I think him and Bronson Reed, that could be a good match.
I agree. Seth is a solid wrestler, and he works well with big guys.
That's it.
Yeah. I think that could work. It doesn't look bad. I think Gunther and Cody is really interesting. And not only the match, I think, will be solid, but the booking of it. I mean, Cody keeps saying, you know, there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a winner. there has to be a winner, right? So who wins, I think, is very interesting, and how as well.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be Gunther.
Okay, so if it is Gunther, how does he win? What's the finish?
Either someone distracts Cody and Cody takes like a super power bomb.
Who? Kevin?
Or even, I don't know, they could put over Gunther clean if they wanted to. In like a...
I doubt that, though.
No. It could be Kevin. He's there.
I don't see them putting Gunther over clean. Right? John?
Yeah, I don't see that.
So what's the finish?
Well, I think it's either Kevin interfering or we got Goldberg interfering, I think.
Goldberg.
Oh.
It is Saudi Arabia. They do love Goldberg.
You think they do Goldberg interfering, costing Gunther the match? Helping Cody?
I think there's a strong possibility of that.
That gets Cody heat, though. Residual
How does it
heat.
get him?
Huh?
I guess with you guys, sure, but everyone else would be happy that Cody wins. So the fans there will be happy. So it doesn't matter what you guys think.
Oh, well, how about fans here and in Brooklyn, New York? Because I don't know about you, John, but the promo tonight, interesting fan reactions in Brooklyn always. And those fans were not fully behind Cody. A lot of them were into what Gunther was saying.
Yeah, and I'm sure they recognize that, but it doesn't mean that they're going to change the story for that. They'll just be like, well, that's what they wanted to be like. They can be like that, but this is what we're going to do. And it doesn't matter what they think.
I thought that was a hell of a promo tonight from Gunther and Cody.
I enjoyed it. It was most times Cody's promos aren't very good, to be honest. Like last couple, especially the last one we saw, I think was it last week or the week before? I thought it was very cliche and it just felt very standard Cody. And like, oh, we've heard this many times before in the past. This was good because you had someone firing back on Cody, kind of like calling him out on all this stuff too.
Yeah. Cody, you say that you have to finish your story and you're being way more dramatic than you need to be, Cody. That was great. Yeah. Cody, you're just dramatic, man. Like, just relax. Gunther's like, I'm the best wrestler in this company. I don't need to do all this stuff. Cody's like, I don't need to be John Cena. Like, Cody, you keep talking about doing the John Cena schedule. I don't need to do all that. I'm the best. And Cody's like, oh, you know where I was yesterday? I was doing media for WrestleMania in Vegas, and now I'm here. And where were you? You couldn't be bothered. You couldn't get out of bed. And Gunther's like, yeah, I say no. They ask me to do stuff like that. I tell them no. I have the guts to say no. I am a champion with guts. You are gutless because you know that if you say no, everything for you goes away. That's not the case for me. I was like, get him. That was badass promo from Gunther. And I don't know if Cody really was able to fire back. Cody was kind of like, yeah, well, I'm going to hit you now. And then he hit him.
Yeah.
Right.
Gunther, roasted him in that promo. I thought Gunther was phenomenal, and the crowd was kind of like, oh, Gunther. Like, the crowd was reacting the way I was reacting. Like, ooh, get him. Interesting.
Solid promo. Very enjoyable segment, I thought. Again, like, most times Cody's promos aren't very interesting, but you had someone there that had a little bit of interest, and you set up the match for next week. It's going to be a tag match on SmackDown, so before we even get the title match, we're going to get another match, and Randy's involved, too. And Randy had a little bit of an altercation there as well, like, he had the belt there for a second. They're slowly teasing Randy and Cody. I think that's the next one after Kevin.
Makes sense.
It might be there. But just with Gunther and Cody, I thought the crowd reaction was real interesting because I think this was the first time in a long time that the crowd seemed more into the other guy than Cody.
It's true. And it's probably the best part of Cody's title reign so far is when he's had adversity. I feel like he's had adversity in the past, but he never really believed in it. Now you kind of like, oh, like Cody's like a little bit down here. He's not like the strong one in this one. This actually makes Cody, you feel for Cody now because like, oh, he might lose this time around. And there's a good possibility he might.
I mean, Cody had his little fairy tale story, finished it at Mania. And then after Mania, he got to kind of dance around SmackDown and have his victory parade without Roman Reigns around. Roman Reigns comes back. All of a sudden, Cody isn't the top babyface on SmackDown anymore. Roman is, which is a big shift.
Yep.
for your world champion to all of a sudden be the number 2 babyface as opposed to the number 1 babyface because your former number 1 heel is back and the crowd loves him more than your number 1 babyface champion, which is, not a usual circumstance in wrestling. So Cody's in that weird spot, and now they put him up against Gunther, who is a heel, but he's so good at wrestling, as he says, and it's not just a gimmick. He really is very good, that he's so respected and so beloved by the really hardcore wrestling fans, and just wrestling fans in general, because he's cool. Mm-hmm. He's got a good look. He's got great promos. He's a great wrestler in the ring. Like, he's got a lot going for him.
Cool music.
Yes. And now he's the champion. He's the champion of Monday Night Raw. So he's presented very well. He looks strong. And now up against Cody, you look at Gunther and you look at Cody and you go, well, who do I like better? And I think a lot of wrestling fans go, well, obviously Gunther. And then other wrestling fans go, oh, maybe Gunther. Other fans now are starting to, like you and I think maybe Johnny, I'm not sure where you stand on it, who you prefer, Gunther or Cody. I like them both, but I like Gunther more. I get more excited for what Gunther's doing. But I think a lot of fans now that were really hardcore into Cody are starting to go, Gunther is very cool. They're starting to kind of come around and realize, like, yes, this guy special, and maybe we do like him more than Cody. So to put them in opposition against each other tonight, I think was a real interesting move. What do you think? Who do you prefer, Gunther or Cody?
Well, in terms of who do I prefer have a promo, or in terms of who has a match? Like to be honest, I would say Gunther for the promo right now, just because I feel Cody's kind of tired with the promo. But in terms of the match, I think Cody probably delivers some of the best matches right now in all of WWE. So I'd go with Cody for the wrestling.
Yeah, Cody's pretty good.
A lot of triples tonight. You're getting a third base on one swing of the bat. It's Triple H.
And you know who else I blame? Is that other executive producer.
Lee Fitting?
Yeah, Lee Fitting.
I hate Lee Fitting.
Yeah.
John, we need to start blaming Lee Fitting, because at the end of the show, they go executive producers, or Jean-Paul. Do they say
Levesque.
Paul Levesque?
Jean-Paul.
Not Jean-Paul Levesque.
That's a gimmick name.
Jean-Paul Levesque, brother. Levesque. And Lee Fitting. I think Lee Fitting should take more heat. I've never heard of this guy. I have no idea who he is, but he seems like maybe the problem. Although SmackDown was fine tonight. Wasn't amazing. Wasn't terrible. It was all right. Lee Fitting, good job tonight, buddy.
Yeah. Hats off to you, Lee Fitting.
We love you, Lee Fitting.
I truly felt SmackDown far superior than Raw this week. Raw, I thought the main event was all right, but that was pretty much all I enjoyed from Raw. SmackDown, I thought for overall it was a pretty decent show.
This is Lee Fitting. Sorry, I'm just looking at a picture of Lee Fitting. He's just like a television producer guy. Who is this guy? Lee Fitting.
He's on X.
He's on Twitter's Father Husband Sports.
I love sports.
Street talk show. Oh, he has not tweeted in a long time, I don't think. Or has he? No. I guess since he got his job with WWE, he stopped going on the Twitter.
That's right. Stick with me, Fitting.
Head of Media and Production, Lee Fitting.
Oh, he's the new Kevin Dunn, I guess.
I guess, yeah. He's like the new Kevin Dunn guy. I see. He used to work for ESPN. He's a television sports producer. Lee Fitting. Yeah, so a lot of bloodline, storyline, progression tonight on the Down of Smack. We saw, new tag team champions with the Motor City Machine Guns, which is a big deal. Kind of cool for them, right? They've been around the business forever. You get the SmackDown WWE Tag Team Champions. It's a nice accolade to add to the resume of championships that they've won everywhere in the world, right? I think they were, New Japan Tag Champs, Impact, Ring of Honor. Now WWE. Not many tag teams have done that. Got to look at them now as one of the best ever.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I remember Chris Sabin on his own.
I remember when they started as a tag team in Impact Wrestling.
Is that after, the paparazzi? It was after paparazzi.
Something like that.
With Kevin Nash.
Those guys.
Forever.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about it, but a lot of teams and a lot of wrestlers now look at Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley as kind of inspirations, and and they were groundbreaking at the time, and a lot of those guys in the X division in Impact Wrestling inspired a generation of wrestlers that is wrestling right now.
It's very true. Yeah, a lot of guys use their style.
Right?
I agree with you 100%. I'm sure a lot of people. Chris Sabin at one point, didn't he win all the titles in TNA? I think Alex Shelley also won the Impact World title as well at some point. Mm-hmm. I think he wrestled Nick Aldis last year in TNA. It's funny, and you see Nick Aldis there and all that, and they set up the match, and it's we go way back. I'm yeah, last year you go way back. There's a lot of history in that ring there. It was very interesting.
Yeah, a lot of TNA Impact stuff going on. Even Solo Sikoa was I know you're coming here and you want to make an impact, and he kind of gave a look, and it was yes. They were in Impact. Thank you, Mr. Sikoa. So Jey and Jimmy now back together. Jay's lost his belt to Bron Breakker, but the Usos are back together. Roman Reigns watching the action. Sorry, the Dodgers just tied the game. It's 2-2 in the 8th.
Yeah.
Quite a ball game.
Yep.
That we were winning until just now. Anyways. It's the World Series. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to talk about it, but it's the World Series.
Yeah.
I don't think people mind your emotions, They just don't like the play-by-play. That's it.
Yeah. I had to react. I saw something. And if you're wondering why I'm going, it's because I'm seeing something right over here that's giving me heart palpitations. Angelo Contagonis in the chat says, "Let's go Dodgers."
Angelo, how could you?
Angelo.
I thought we were friends.
I thought we were cool, man. I thought we were cool.
Hey, Evangelo, you guys have been friends for years.
Hi, Leor. What's up, Leor? He says, I think it's pretty funny that Nick Aldis looked bigger than the Tribal Chief Solo Sikoa tonight. Nick Aldis looks like a beast. Aldis is huge.
He is huge. I met him. He's gigantic.
Yeah, he's got a big chest.
For John to say somebody's gigantic, they're big. Because John is a pretty big dude as well.
John is massive.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and he dwarfs me, Aldis.
He's so big that he must be so big. What is he, 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, he's in that ballpark, I would say, yeah.
Jeez. And he's a good 80 of muscle.
He might not be as big because he doesn't wrestle as much anymore.
Okay.
But 250. I think he was.
At least.
Yeah, he's in that definite high 200s, yeah.
Yeah.
Brutus Magnus.
He's a big dude.
He was good.
He was
there was
all
a time
right.
I remember watching like some TNA pay-per-view and he was like featured and I was like, oh, let's go Brutus Magnus. Was he ever featured with Rob Terry? Were they like a team?
That
were they
sounds
like English
familiar.
guys? Were they like English guys?
Yeah, weren't they?
Yeah, they were like the UK Invasion or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
British Invasion, no?
Yeah.
British Invasion, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, two big Brits. There was another guy
Doug
too,
Williams.
Yeah,
Doug
Williams,
was-
yeah.
Doug Williams.
TNA. 2000s TNA.
I think
Watched a lot of
all
it.
this is best match was with Cody. We all watched that all in. I think that was his best match ever. I think.
Yeah. He's had some good matches, I was surprised WWE brought him in to be a GM and not to wrestle because he still could. Oh, well. So I think that was the big story this week in WWE. We saw some title changes. We saw the Bloodline reunite. And the big question for me is who would be the fourth man with the Roman Jimmy Jey team in War Games against Solo, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tongaloa? I think it's probably going to be Sami Zayn. I think they enlist Sami Zayn. They bring the band back together to take on, the old Bloodline. Old Bloodline versus new Bloodline. And Sami Zayn, I think, makes a lot more sense when you consider the fact that War Games Survivor Series is going to be in Vancouver, Canada. Sami Zayn is Canadian. Canadians tend to pop for their own. They'll be very excited to see Sami Zayn in a big War Games match, especially reuniting with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun for a lot of people. I think a lot of people would enjoy that. A lot of fans would enjoy seeing that again. So I think that's the direction they should be heading in. Maybe there's another member of the family that they want to bring up. I think there's another one somewhere in developmental,
isn't there?
right?
And don't they?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Well, Hikuleo, There's no
Hikuleo, maybe they could find. Like, there are guys out there that they could, like,
Right.
believe it or not, there are more family members in the business, possibly even still signed to WWE, that they could find and bring in as, like, more to these groups. Maybe they do that. Like, maybe they bring someone else in.
But
Or maybe they just go to Sami Zayn.
Sammy would get the biggest pop.
I think Sami Zayn is the move.
And people like look back fondly on that time. Like people love talking about when he was like made them break character. Talk about them feeling oozy.
Yeah.
They started laughing. Like people look back and like that was good TV. I missed that. You know, like I think they kind of want to give the people what they want there.
What do you think, Sammy?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, because it's in Canada, like you said, and Ryan Katz made another good point I was going to bring up as well. It feels like Canada is going to be a big thing now with PLEs again. At least Vancouver and Toronto. We're going to get shut out, but at least Vancouver and Toronto get to enjoy the wonderful PLEs. I love how I saw people on X being like, oh, Toronto and Montreal get all the PLEs. We got one.
Yeah, we got one.
Toronto's going to get all the other ones now, it seems.
Well, Toronto just got Money in the Bank, right? And now the rumor is they're going to get Elimination Chamber in February.
Damn.
And I imagine in a couple of years they'll get WrestleMania again.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Vancouver is getting the Survivor Series, but it's a rare stop for WWE in Vancouver. Vancouver gets one. Montreal gets one. Toronto gets more than one.
It's a major spot.
I mean, that's not a surprise. It's kind of how Canada works, isn't it, John?
And, well, if they can sell out a stadium in Toronto for Elimination Chamber, I mean, they deserve it.
Yeah.
They can pull that off, because I don't think Montreal could do that.
No. It's the biggest market in Canada. I mean, it's Toronto. Right?
The biggest in North America.
Yeah, that's it. It's a huge city, so they're going to get more stuff than the other markets in Canada.
It's cheaper than New York or Chicago.
Yeah. People can't say Montreal and Toronto get all the stuff. They can say Toronto gets all the stuff, and once in a while Montreal and Vancouver get something. You know? Sometimes Calgary and Edmonton get something. We're kind of in the same... Maybe we're a little bit more frequent than Calgary and Edmonton, but just kind of barely, you know?
Well, for PLEs, yeah.
Yeah. Vancouver, too, they don't get much.
We
get more than Vancouver, but less than Toronto, right? As far as Canadian cities, pay-per-views, PLEs, whatever you want to call them, I feel like they've done more in Montreal than they have in any other city that's not Toronto. It's possible. Yeah. So maybe when, Canadian fans go, oh, Montreal and Toronto get everything, they might be right. But I would also argue that we're the two biggest markets for wrestling in Canada, so.
And the Northeast.
It makes sense. They want to make money. They want to sell out arenas.
You know, you're passing through Boston, Philly, New York, and stuff. You know, you'll come through Montreal, Toronto, too.
People are going to, buy tickets for a pay-per-view in Montreal or Toronto. More so in Toronto, so they go there more. I mean, they just go where the money is. It's not rocket appliances, like the great Ricky would say. You know?
Oh, can we talk about money? Because, that's what they're going to be making if they sell tickets in Toronto. Because, we've seen WrestleMania tickets. I can only imagine the charge they'll have for Canada tickets. Elimination Chamber, it's going to be insane, I think. Something happened in the game, I'm guessing.
Yeah. What?
What happened? What is that? What's this?
What's that mean? Is someone injured?
Is that a ground rule double?
Seriously?
What is that? What just happened? I think it's a double. Off the top of the wall or something? What happened?
A fan?
A fan grabbed it?
That's a Dodgers fan.
Well, it would have touched the top of the wall anyways. That's not going over the fence, but a fan interference.
Kick him out.
Anyway.
In past World Series, that would count as a home run, but we've moved on from that.
I mean, that seems a little... I didn't love that. I think they have to kick that guy out. You can't catch the ball when it's still in play, dude.
Hey, I remember when the guy did that. He was on Letterman last time the guy did that.
Review. Please give us a home run.
Oh, my God, please. Please let this be a weird, tricky play.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Come on, Juan Soto.
Sorry, John. What the hell were we talking about? I thought the Yankees just hit a home run. I got
in the ninth inning.
Well, I was talking about how WrestleMania ticket prices are insane. I'm sure the Toronto ticket prices in the Chamber will be insane.
Ticket prices for everything are,
Yeah. I'm going to see Bruce Springsteen next week. You want to know how much I'm paying?
Oh, no, I don't. World Series tickets are crazy expensive. Tickets for everything are extremely expensive. Yet fans go, oh, wow, Triple H is telling us about all the gate records that they're breaking, and they cheer him on. Triple H is telling you. we're selling 16,000 sellout and we're making more money than ever. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't make sense. That means you're just charging more money than you did last time in the same building that you sold out. They're just charging more for tickets. Everybody's charging more for tickets.
It's very expensive.
I mean, I don't know what people expect. Do you think they're going to get cheaper all of a sudden? I mean, I don't like it. It makes me angry, but, I just don't buy tickets for things. I think that's the option. Just don't do it unless you really want to, Unless it's something you need to go to, don't go.
Yeah, it's something, you've been waiting your whole life for.
Yeah.
You've been saving up for a long time for.
I mean, sure. Or if you want to spend all your money on tickets for things and that's how you live your life, just spending all your money on tickets to WrestleMania or whatever, go ahead. But, I'm good with watching it on TV. I don't need to go. I don't need to go to Las Vegas to see WrestleMania in a stadium full of wrestling fans with like 80,000 people around me. I'm good.
Can't really see.
Yeah, no, like...
it's like $750 and you can't really see. You're watching the screen anyway.
Yeah.
The fireworks, or...
Elimination Chamber tickets were not cheap.
No.
But we went. We got good seats. We went. It was like...
an arena.
I said, when is Elimination Chamber ever going to come back to my hometown? When's that going to happen?
Bloody likely.
So I said, okay, it's worth it. You got to make a decision. If there's something you really want to go to, you spend the money and you go. If it's something like WrestleMania or the World Series or the Super Bowl, you're going to be paying a premium because you're not the only one who wants to go to that. These are events that people travel from around the world to attend. This is the biggest event in the sport. You want to go see Cody Rhodes wrestle? You could go buy a ticket to Raw. You could probably get in for $50. But if you want to see him at WrestleMania, it's going to be more expensive. Is it outrageously expensive? Yes. But everything is at this point. And honestly, I think WWE, to a certain degree, is seeing what UFC charges for their tickets, which has always been more. And they're saying, well, maybe we can do that too. And they're starting to try.
I know, it's kind of crazy to think of, because wrestling used to be kind of like the idea was like, hey, everyone can come, bring the whole family. It's not that expensive. It's a fun night out.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming like a luxury event.
Well, they're not doing house shows anymore.
Wait, what?
They don't do house shows anymore.
There's no more WWE Live?
They go on like European tours, and when they do that, that's like a house show. But house shows, North America, they don't do them.
They're doing like a holiday tour, I think.
Maybe.
But it's like around Florida.
They don't do like regular house shows. It's televised. So there are fewer shows. So it's more of a premium event when they actually do them.
Damn. That means we're just going to get Raw and SmackDown now. We're not going to get house shows.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get a house show.
I loved house shows.
I mean, maybe on like, they're going to go do a holiday tour in Canada.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it's that type of thing. It's not like regular house shows every day, and then TV, and then house show, TV. It's not like that anymore. There's fewer shows, so they charge more, right?
Well, the last 2 years we've had in Laval, usually at the end of the year, it's been a live event. And now I don't think we have one scheduled at all. So I think that's come to an end, sadly. And I'm kind of like you guys, too. I found those were kind of special. Maybe not the greatest shows in the world, but they were unique because you see a lot of like wrestlers, they would try things that you usually wouldn't see on television. They know it's not on television, not playing to the hard camera. They're just playing to the crowd. So you got far more unique interactions with that. And for some, that's even better.
It was a show just for that crowd. It wasn't a TV show. It was a show just for that crowd. It was a house show. You're gonna lose something. You lose something when you lose that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. It's a thing of the past, John.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
Business is changing. AEW doesn't do house shows. WWE's not doing house shows,
I guess it helps them stay healthier in a way.
Well, yes and no. Like, healthier in the sense that the wrestlers don't get hurt as much, but now we don't see them as much now, so it's very rare when we get to see them, sadly.
Yeah. That's it. They are seen less. So that way, when they are seen, you can charge more for tickets. Because you don't see them that often. It's more rare. The rarer it is, the more you can charge. How it works. Supply and demand.
I love how the chat said you couldn't do commentary, but we get commentary from the chat, though. So I guess the chat wanted to do the commentary, and you can't do the commentary for that.
Yeah,
game.
what's that about? I don't like it.
Just the way they feel.
I don't like it.
Chat's rules, I guess.
Yeah, well. So what else is going on in WWE,
Is
John?
that LA Knight getting heat?
Oh, yeah, LA Knight. He was the referee for Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and he kind of got into it with them during the match, and then he, attacked them, and the match just ended. And the crowd kind of booed him for causing the non-finish as the referee, which I thought was interesting. Usually the crowd totally behind LA Knight. Tonight they were kind of annoyed with him.
Well, he gave a crummy reason. Don't you agree? I didn't really like the reason. He got mad at Mello, and then he just started jaw-jacking with Andrade, and then gave him a finish, gave Mello another finish, and then I'm deciding the match is over. It's that's kind of very crummy, especially if you're a babyface to do that. Kind of crummy.
It was weird.
Not great. Especially because that was a best of 7. This is the finally ended and decided, and we got no decision in the end, and it was because of the babyface. Yeah, they have every right to boo. That was just the worst way to end that, to be honest.
Strange booking again for the babyface to do that. Why?
Well, now
Why
we
did
have
they put him in that position?
I guess they felt that he was so over that he could do that, and people would still be okay with it. They thought he was like that. Because I think they thought, well, Stone Cold could do that. But I think they've realized, and we all know, he's not on that level. He's over, but you can't just go there and mess with the crowd and all that and mess with the match. People wanted to see a win or two. So as over as LA Knight is, he's not that over where he can just do whatever the hell he wants.
You hear what he said? He said, as over as LA Knight is, he's not that over. Let me ask you this. Has LA Knight peaked?
I don't think so, because he hasn't faced the top tier talent yet. I mean, he faced Roman, but he hasn't stayed there yet. Once he stays there and he's just kind of doing the same thing over again, then he's peaked. But he hasn't faced the top yet on a regular basis.
I think the Andrade Mello never-ending feud and him being kind of mixed up in it, I think that's kind of dragging him a bit. I don't think he's peaked. I just think this is a bit of a quicksand feud. It's just, and hopefully this triple threat at Crown Jewel is the end of it, and he can move on to something else. That's what I feel like. It's just again with these guys. I kind of enjoy him attacking them because he's just enough of this matchup from my perspective.
He feels less over.
Maybe.
But maybe it is because of the quality of opponent. As U.S. champion, there really hasn't been much for him to do. He's been kind of a sidekick to the Carmelo Hayes-Andrade feud, kind of getting involved, being like, I'm going to give you guys a title shot because, yeah, I got nothing else to do. Yeah, that's it. He's kind of lost momentum, but I don't know if it's his fault. They gave him the U.S. title, and then they kind of let him sink with it.
I think the thing is that, Cody is sort of involved in the Roman and Bloodline story, but he's also got the Randy and Kevin thing. So, all those guys are all kind of tied up. If LA Knight had a feud with Randy Orton, I think he'd be probably in better standing right now and be in better shape. Or Kevin, matches he would win against those guys, potentially. But instead, those guys are tied up with Cody, and Cody also has the Roman and everything, and the Dwayne and all that.
Yeah.
So all that is just a big jumble at the top. There's nothing but crumbs left.
And it's not easy to crack that level. It's not easy to get to that spot. And like you said, John, he hasn't peaked till he gets there and starts being there regularly. But, I don't think there's a guarantee that he ever actually gets there and stays there regularly. Because right now, he's kind of evened out. Whereas I think if you want to get to that next level, you have to keep rising. And the rise seems to have kind of slowed down for him. I think he can pick it back up, but right now, especially after tonight, you go, ooh, what's happening?
Well, he needs to definitely win this triple threat match at Crown Jewel. I think if he takes a loss there, it's going to hurt him, actually, at this point.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, those guys aren't over enough, I think, to beat him, so that would hurt him too much. When he loses the U.S. title, it's got to be to someone, I think, higher up, I think. If he lost back to Logan Paul, it wouldn't be that bad.
Where's Logan Paul?
I wouldn't like it.
How come he's not a Crown Jewel?
I don't know. He's got some legal issues to deal with, doesn't he?
Oh.
Isn't his brother fighting soon? He's got to be in his corner?
Yeah.
Doesn't his Lunchables thing have mold in it or something?
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, there's something kind of off about that Lunchly thing.
Something off about him all the time. But
yeah, but there's some kind of greasiness. But yeah.
Okay.
Night.
Let me pose another question to you. Do you guys like the idea of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods with R-Truth? Because I kind of did, but then the Final Testament beat up the R-Truth, and Xavier Woods didn't want Kofi to go help him, so they didn't go help him. Woods kind of helped the New Day beat the Authors of Pain, but then Authors of Pain beat up Truth afterwards, and Woods didn't want to help. It's kind of sad. I thought it would be fun for a couple weeks.
Have they not done this before? I feel like Truth was associated with them for a little bit. Many years ago, I think.
Maybe. I mean, New Day's been an act for almost 10 years at this point, over 10 years.
Yeah, I think it could be fun, but I guess they're not going in that direction. That was my favorite part of Raw this week. It was when R-Truth came out and started doing stuff with New Day.
Yeah.
Other than that, kind of an uneventful show. How about Dynamite, John? Anything else on SmackDown you want to get to before we switch over to AEW World?
Well, there's just a couple of things on Raw I wanted to touch.
Oh, boy.
Well, just in the main event. Just in the main event. And I think it was the last two matches, actually. Just finishes. Like, I felt they got a little sloppy in the finishes. I don't know if you caught. I think it was the LWO. They were in a match. They were in a tag match. I don't know if you caught that. Where Rey Mysterio. They were against American Made.
Yeah.
And Rey did the 619. And instead of getting back in the ring, just made the tag on the ring apron. And then that's when Dragon Lee hit the splash for the finish. Game over?
No, Verdugo just made a really nice catch to
thankfully not game over.
End the 9th inning and push it to the 10th.
You're going extra innings in the first game? Wow.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a long series.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be crazy. I mean, we knew this was,
I think I have an also already.
This is going to be a stressful time. Crazy games. LA and New York, man. Dodgers and Yankees. Doesn't get bigger than this. This is heavyweight baseball, baby.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm surprised the score is so.
This sounds
It'll
like
probably
it's
be
going
like, 12-10 final tomorrow or something.
I thought tonight,
No. I think tomorrow they're just going to let loose and score a bunch of runs. Tonight was a low score. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, not Carlos.
He's going to have a tough day.
Oh, no.
Is Game 6 going to be next Friday too, or Game 7?
It's tonight and tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Game 6 will be next Friday.
Game 6 will be Friday. And more than likely, it sounds like that's what's going to happen.
Well,
I hope not.
I like Yanks in 4. I was there.
Yeah, Yanks in 4 would be nice. Would be
You're
very
going to extra
5.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Thank you. I'd like it to be over as soon as possible with the Yankees winning. That would be preferable. So 4 games.
I think Stanton is leading off.
I'd really like to see them win tonight and then, take it from there.
Really wanted Judge to get a hit there.
A win tonight would be very nice.
Really could use
Let me tell you,
there from the
I like when they win. It's better than when they lose. When they lose, it's sad. When they win, it's happy.
Yeah.
You get it. It's sports.
Just one more thing though in the Raw main event. And I know you guys probably didn't catch it too much, but it just irked me quite a bit watching it, where it was Jay against Braun, and they had the whole interference with the Bloodline, right? And then they got all kicked out and everything, and then they did the whole around the ring thing, and then Jay got beat up by Jacob Fatu, and they said for whatever reason the referee was distracted, but it's like way too much time had passed for that to happen.
Yeah.
Like they had the distraction, and then they're like, oh, well, he's distracted. Like that distraction was like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. I don't know what he was still distracted by. They said he was distracted by Adam Pearce, right?
They were gone.
But was Adam Pearce gone, or was he still on the ramp? I think he was still on the ramp, maybe. But they didn't show him on camera. It was weird. Because it was like, oh, Jacob Fatu's just kicking him in the face. Why isn't the referee stopping this? Yeah. That was a weird one. But they did say on commentary the ref was distracted by Pierce. Maybe they just said that to save it, and Pierce was gone. That's why they didn't show him on camera. Oh, the ref, he's looking at Adam Pearce. Oh, Adam Pearce isn't there. Well, we're not going to show that, so don't worry about it. It's fine. He's there.
My word for it.
Yeah, believe us, he's there. The ref is distracted by a nude Hulk Hogan on the stage. What? Oh, no, he's there. He's there.
He's posing.
Are you going to show him? No. Go back to the stage. Oh, he left. You missed him.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Whatever, let's show that again. Not in a million years.
Yeah, that was nuts.
There's someone with talking about distraction. I think there's someone with a MAGA hat in the front row, no? In the Dodgers game?
There is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's also legendary Entertainment Tonight anchor Mary Hart. She sits at the Dodgers games like all year round.
She's always a distraction.
Wow.
That blonde lady kind of like...
Yeah. Fucking Mary Hart. Fuck you, Mary Hart.
Just to the right of the umpire.
Fuck you, Mary Hart. You suck, Mary Hart.
Also a MAGA lady.
Jazzy Chiz!
There you go, Jazzy Chiz. Is he going for 2?
No, it's a single.
Where's that been all God dang it.
All right. AEW, Chris Jericho won the Ring of Honor World Championship, beating Mark the Briscoe in a ladder war match. Ladder war? Ladder battle? What do they call it?
I think they called it a ladder war.
Yeah, but it's just a ladder match, right?
I mean, that's pretty much what it was. There was a bunch of ladders they had, and there's a bunch of falling off ladders that happened. I thought the match was pretty good. I thought it was the best thing that we saw on Dynamite this week.
Yeah, because Dynamite was pretty bad this week.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Shelton against Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
Good matches.
I mean, I did and I didn't. Shelton Benjamin, really? Like, I like him. I respect him. But he's been around forever, and he's never been a star. And to have him just obliterate Sammy Guevara like that, who at one time was looked at as one of the main guys that you're pushing for the future, to have Shelton Benjamin, who's like pushing 50 or whatever, you know, just beat him senseless like that, make him look like a total jabroni. I don't know, man. Shelton's talented, but it also matters how you've been booked everywhere else in your career. AEW can't all of a sudden be like, yeah, Shelton's a main eventer. Because if he's a main eventer in your company, well, your company's not a main event company.
No.
It's just not. So, you know, the match was fine. It was cool. You know, it was a good wrestling contest. It was a good story they told. It was good. But the booking of it, I got a question. Because you make Sammy Guevara look like shit next to a guy who's been around the block and, you know, is never a star, is never a main event player. Sammy Guevara wrestled for the World Championship in a match that you were kind of pushing as, these are our future stars. It was MJF, it was Darby, it was Jungle Boy, and it was Sammy. They did this in the main event of a pay-per-view. World title on the line. And now Sammy is getting his ass kicked by Shelton Benjamin?
Doesn't add up.
I don't think it's good. I don't think it's a good move. So I didn't like it, you know? Ultimately, I didn't like it. For AEW, as a viewer of the wrestling match, I thought it was fine. But as a person who likes AEW and cares about the future of AEW and the booking of it long term, you got to scratch your head, you know? What's going on?
Well, at this point, Sammy's not really doing much of anything. He's around, but he's not really doing much. He's Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, so it kind of shows you where he's at right now in terms of the AEW pecking order. And Shelton's going to be wrestling Swerve next week. So he had to keep winning matches because that's a big match.
I get
That's
it.
true. But it's not great.
But Shelton Swerve, like even that, you go,
It's going to be competitive.
yeah, which it shouldn't be. Swerve should squash Shelton like Shelton squashed Sammy Guevara.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Swerve's going to win, but highly competitive. And hopefully we finally get Lashley showing up because I feel like that's what we're building towards.
You would think we'd get Bobby Lashley.
They'll probably interfere maybe at the end or show up after the match beatdown.
Mm-hmm. Bobby Lashley. Yeah.
We'll
And even
see.
then, it's like, okay,
We got to deal with that for next time.
now it's
6 months.
Bobby Lashley. I don't know. I'm pretty bored with what AEW is putting together, man. They don't have Bryan Danielson. They don't have Kenny Omega. They don't have CM Punk. What do they have? What are they doing?
They're losing some juice.
They're losing juice. MJF.
They got Juice Robinson.
They got Juice Robinson, but that's not really moving the needle.
It's not the right
Well,
kind of juice, brother.
It seemed to me with that whole like Undisputed Kingdom segment with MJF, I think the Undisputed Kingdom is going to turn on Adam Cole in the end of all this.
Maybe. And MJF saying he's not going to be in an AEW building until full gear. He won't be in a building until the pay-per-view. That's what he said on his promo where he's getting massaged by that lady.
He's got movies to do.
Did we just score?
Little Tony.
What happened?
Little Tony, the guy stopped it, but he didn't pick it up or something.
It was an infield kind of booted grounder?
Yeah.
We just scored.
Let's go.
It's 3-2 in the 10th.
Oh, they get the guy at second?
What just happened? He bobbled it?
Well, did he get Rizzo at
Oh, he got the guy at second.
I don't know why Rizzo stopped.
I don't know. Okay. Okay, we scored a run.
All right.
I don't
let's-
care. Oh, my God. Can we please win this game?
Please, Jeebus. You send Weaver back out there?
Force play at second, yeah. What was Rizzo doing just kind of standing there like that? Why wasn't he sliding into him?
Don't know. Jazzy Chiz, what base running?
Jazzy Chiz.
Jazzy Chiz. Oh my goodness, Jazzy Chiz. Potential World Series hero, Jazzy Chiz.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yep.
Jericho beat the Briscoe Man to win the Ring of Honor Championship. Jericho was all beat up, and Big Bill, Big Cass just carried Jericho up to climb the ladder and grab the belt. The bump that Mark Briscoe took from the Big Cass choke slam out of the ring through the tables was crazy. Like, that was nuts. Nice final bump.
Well, that was crazy, and the one he took when he did that flip to the outside, when Jericho moved out of the way from the ladder, that also looked like that killed.
Yeah, I mean, they went for it.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
No, enjoyable. Jericho, too, took like a terrible bump, like when Briscoe did the elbow drop off the top of the ladder. And it looked like the back of his head hit another ladder.
Yeah.
Rough match. Very rough match.
Jericho's still doing this stuff, you know? I don't think he needs to.
Oh, his 9th world championship now.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for him. He had the match of the night for sure. The House of Black had a match that they won over 3 jobber guys. That happened.
Yeah.
Camille beat Queen Aminata.
That wasn't great.
No. Daniel Garcia and the Private Party beat Young Bucks and Jack Perry when there was like a lot of, stuff going on there.
They did a roll-up off the silly string.
Yeah, but there was all sorts of shenanigans going on, right?
There was stuff on the outside or something that was happening as well.
Yeah.
And then the aftermath afterwards.
Yeah, the Blackpool Combat guys, the Moxley gang, they came out, started attacking everybody. And they attacked Private Party, and they attacked Chuck Taylor, who's now like a backstage guy. He works for AEW because he retired. They're like, we remember Chuck Taylor had to retire because he got his ankle shattered. And I was like, oh, yeah. Didn't Trent Beretta did that to him? Like, what happened to Trent Beretta?
Where's Trent?
Remember that heel turn that he did where he, like, turned on everybody and he, like, tried to kill Chuck? What happened with that?
I think he hurt his neck or something. He had to get surgery, so I killed that.
Yes, it did. Anyway, so now Chuck is apparently working backstage for AEW, and he was telling Orange at the beginning of the show, like, all these guys, like, there were guys waiting in the parking lot for Moxley's crew. They were, like, going to get revenge and beat them up. And Chuck Taylor was like, these guys can't defend AEW. They need you, Orange. And Orange was like, man, I don't want to do it. But then Chuck, he gets beat up by the Blackpool guys because I guess they want to fight Orange, and Orange then showed up and kind of ran them off. So Orange versus Moxley seems like the thing for the belt, probably at Full Gear. I know we were waiting for Darby, but I guess we'll have to wait even longer for that.
Fantastic.
Orange versus Moxley.
In the main event of like a 4-hour Full Gear?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, when you got Danielson there, it's like, okay, it makes it a little more tolerable. We gotta wait for Orange versus Moxley.
Or MJF.
Yeah.
Or Kenny Omega. Or Will Ospreay.
Give me Okada, goddammit. You got Okada.
Or Swerve Strickland. Or Hangman Page. Or literally so many guys other than Moxley and Orange. Yuck.
Well, you guys kind of know what this is about, though. Moxley's getting his wins back. Because remember, he put over Orange before in the past. So
He did?
Yeah, he did. He lost to Orange. I think he lost, was it not the international title, or he lost an international title match to him?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, okay, but
It's not exciting.
it's not a grudge match.
I don't know. I don't believe, just because Orange beat Moxley and they're saying that Orange beat Moxley, I don't believe Orange will beat Moxley this time.
Well, I don't believe it either, but there's a reason. There's a purpose.
Yeah, but can't we do that purpose on Dynamite instead of pay-per-view?
Yeah.
You wish. Like, because if we're building up for this, you're definitely getting it at the pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think it's unfortunate. I would like to see Okada elevated. I'd like to see them do a little bit more with Okada, invest a little bit more time in him.
Yeah, give him more than just a catchphrase. Like, I saw a comment.
All he does is say bitch. Yeah, I mean,
it's like,
it's not incorrect. He hasn't done a ton.
Well, I think they'll pick up with him more because the Continental Classic is supposed to pick up. The Continental Classic is supposed to start after Full Gear. So
okay. So what, the winner of the Continental Classic gets what? A title shot? A title? What do they get?
Another title?
A new belt?
Well,
Are they making another belt?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Continental Classic, that's supposed to be that. Remember that tournament thing that we saw last year?
Yeah.
So that's what happens. And then at
Oh, it's
the end,
just
they
like
get the,
in the end you get a title shot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like their G1, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that their round robin one that they do with points?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't hate that concept. I just kind of forget that it exists. So that's starting soon?
After a full gear, yeah.
I kind of like the Continental Classic. I just,
We had
it's
good
not
matches.
like how many have they had? One, two?
One.
So it's not like entrenched in my brain. Like I don't kind of know about it.
Tradition yet.
When you say Continental Classic, I'm like, what is that again? I'm so glad you're on this show with me, John. You have all the information that I vaguely remember,
Well, it helps I watch all the shows, too. It's like, if you don't watch all the shows, you get lost.
Yeah, that's it. You're watching Collision and Rampage when I am not. I mean, once in a while, but not every week. It's hard. It's a lot. I got UFC to watch. Don't forget, I'm back tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with AJ to watch UFC 30. Max Holloway, Ilya Topuria, main event. We're going to be here watching the pay-per-view with you, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Afternoon pay-per-view because they're in Abu Dhabi. It's kind of nice for me. I get some nice afternoon shows next weekend as well. WWE in Saudi Arabia. So that's an afternoon show too. Back-to-back afternoon event that we're covering here on the Ringside Report Network. Was that a single?
Walk.
Walk. Okay.
Me on the mound. They got Hill
Okay.
and Nasty Nestor in the pen. Face Otani if necessary. I'm hoping a GIDP right here.
Yeah.
I could really use a dip.
Let's make it unnecessary.
I want to press that button. Or you could press that button. Somebody press the button.
Okay.
So
Johnny North, I think it is now time for... I think we got it. I think we're ready for...
film reviews.
Oh, we got it. It works again.
Give it to me.
Also, Venom 3, I watched it. You guys haven't seen the other Venoms in the past, no? Venom 1 or 2?
No, I have a general idea of what it's about.
Like,
I know
it's
the character
not
and
Marvel, right?
What?
It's not Marvel, really. Like, it is Marvel,
It's
but
Marvel
it's not Marvel.
adjacent. There's like a series of movie about Spider-Man, but they can't say Spider-Man.
So they mentioned Spider-Man kind of in the second one.
Okay.
And they hinted that maybe he'd be in this one.
Yeah.
So, a bit of a spoiler here for people who haven't watched Venom 3 yet, because I've seen it. But a bit of a spoiler, a bit of a warning for all of you people who haven't seen Venom 3 yet. There is no Spider-Man
I figured.
in Venom 3.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch Venom 2, like, they kind of tease that maybe that's going to happen.
They show his picture.
Right. So they tease it a bit, and there's stuff about the multiverse or something. And they kind of dip into that a little bit at the beginning. But then they go right back out and they say, screw the multiverse.
Yeah.
The multiverse has nothing to do with this movie. No Spider-Man.
Okay.
So
I like
just
that.
take that.
First thing about this movie.
Spider-Man. It sounds like you were hoping for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, after the second one, because they kind of teased it a little bit. So I'm like, oh, is Spider-Man in this? So
No Spider-Man.
I was kind of thinking maybe it would happen. But regardless of no Spider-Man, still highly enjoyable. And for me, it was the best one of the three. Because the first one was more of like an origin story. Some good drama. Action was okay, decent. And the second one was highly disappointing. You had Woody Harrelson as the main villain. And I thought that would be fantastic. Tom Hardy's the main guy. He's Venom in the movie. Eddie Brock. I think you guys know who Tom Hardy is, right? He was in the movie Warrior in the past.
He's in
You
a
guys
lot
remember
of
that
movies.
movie?
Jeff Hardy,
He
brother.
was Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. He was
Matt Hardy, brother.
He's in a lot of Christopher. He's in Inception and Dunkirk and.
He's been in a lot of good
Blinders.
movies.
I
I don't remember if he's in that or not.
Might have been Peaky Blinders.
He dove off the ladder at WrestleMania, brother.
I think he was out of UFC recently, if not mistaken. He was in the crowd. I think you guys complained about that. But anyways, he's in the movie.
All right.
He's the main guy in the movie. He's Venom. And for the most part, it's not what the other ones were in the past, where it's more of like a romance with his girlfriend, because his girlfriend's not in this at all. Like, they completely cut that
No,
from the
Michelle
first two.
Williams.
I believe that's her name, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's not in it at all. Like, they play this more on like Venom's just trying to survive, because he has like an alien force against him. He's got the military against him. It's just him just trying to live because they're trying to take him out. So it's not about worrying about if his girlfriend's going to live or not. It's about him just trying to survive in this world. And to be honest, like, I was kind of like, that's going to take away from the movie a bit, but it actually made the movie better. it actually helped with the pacing a lot because like the second one, it jumped around way too much between like, oh, I've got to help her, I've got to do this, I got to do Venom's little problems. It's just all compressed into one little thing for the third one, where it's just survive. That's it. And to me, like action wise, they provide the best action of the whole series in this one. So if you haven't seen the other ones in the past, you should probably see it first before you see these ones. But definitely the best one that I saw of the past two, without question. I highly recommend this if you just want to see a good action film.
Johnny North, seal of approval, the new Venom. Venom, never seen a Venom.
Death do they part?
I've never seen any Venoms.
Subtitle.
I keep seeing the commercial for the Venoms. They look kind of cool, but I've never actually, sat down and watched it.
And one more thing too, because I did this for everyone, because I'm sure people would ask. You should sit through the credits, because there is stuff a little before the credits and a little bit after the credits.
Oh, yeah,
so
it's standard for these kinds of movies.
yeah,
But it's
it
not
does
Spider-Man.
pay off in the end.
It's not Spider-Man, though.
It's not Spider-Man, bro.
But it's still good without Spider-Man.
Is it Batman?
No.
Oh, there's no
That's even less
DC
likely.
whatsoever in this. Yeah,
It's not
you're not going
Black
to get
Adam. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam.
that. No Superman, nothing like that. You're not going to get any of the Avengers or anything. They actually don't mention, I believe, anything else in terms of like.
Those movies are produced under Sony, so there's a lot of things they can't say or use unless it's like a special deal. But there's a lot of these movies that are Spider-Man adjacent but don't have Spider-Man in them. Like there was Madam Web, which was a huge bomb earlier this year. That was like Spider-Man adjacent. There was Morbius, the Jared Leto vampire movie.
Morpheus?
Yeah.
Morbius. That's a Spider-Man villain I remember from the cartoons. And we got Kraven the Hunter coming out, I think, in a month or two or something. That's a Spider-Man villain.
I might have to.
But like he's not hunting Spider-Man.
Scott Levy, Craven.
Okay. You guys have good news or bad news? Is it over?
Good news.
Oh, that was an unbelievable catch by Alex Verdugo.
Okay, come on.
That was an unbelievable
Come on,
catch.
one more nasty.
2 outs. Otani just flied out. Verdugo just made an unbelievable catch
that is highlight
to get Otani
that
out.
Is legendary.
He caught a ball and then flipped over a wall with a little short
hung on.
fence.
Some Jeter shit.
Oof, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
He came out a little...
Well, Trent Grisham's on the run.
That was an unbelievable catch by Alex Verdugo.
One more.
He's a dog.
One more.
Yeah, they're an out away from winning game 1. Still, there's runners on first and second. It's 10th inning.
I thought
it's
it was
ridiculous.
I went to third, but no.
This is terrifying baseball.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, it's only game 1, so that's the fun part for you guys.
I got movie reviews if you guys want more movie reviews.
What?
Go ahead.
Wait, DJ Bourne wants to know, was Noel in the movie? Who's Noel?
N-O-L-E? Oh, he's the villain.
Nole? Nole?
Because that's the main villain of the movie. So you see him. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, so he was in the movie.
He was in the movie. What happens with him, you'd have to watch the movie.
Okay.
Oh, it's Freeman. It's not bets. It's bets. They're walking bets.
Did they?
They're walking bets.
We're loading the bases?
Because it's lefty.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Hachimachi.
Breathe, guys.
Boy.
Breathe.
You saw a movie?
You still
I saw movies. I saw that movie, Terrifier 3.
This guy sees all the movies.
That's got Chris Jericho's in that.
Oh, Jericho's in that movie,
He gets his face ripped off pretty early on. He sells it well.
Is it fun?
Kind of fun. It's
very violent.
Very violent. Like it's like 2 hours and like almost 20 minutes. It's like it just goes on for a long time. Where it gets kind of uncomfortable. It's very gory. It's very loud.
What's more uncomfortable, watching that movie or this baseball game right now?
Oh, this baseball game right now. Yeah.
That movie seemed really gross, though. I would not want to see that.
No.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
Grand Slam winner? Really?
God
no
damn
way.
It.
Guys, it's only game 1. Don't worry about it. One game.
Oh, God damn it.
Again, you said in 6, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, but God damn.
We should have won that fucking game right there.
Yeah, that was... fuck. That catch.
Remember what George said, like, you guys won the World Series, but, in 6. Remember that?
That's a heartbreaker. That's a fucking heartbreaker.
Yeah, but it's only the first game.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's it. I'm done.
Whoa.
No, I'm fucking done, John. No, game fucking ended like that. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. What?
But there's one thing.
What?
Did you listen to the Donald Trump and Undertaker podcast?
I'm not talking about Donald Trump right now, John.
No.
I'm not doing that shit. Fuck the Dodgers. Fuck this. Show's over. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock for the UFC watch along. Fuck. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again on the Ringside Report Network.
Good night, everybody. Take care.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.